If they brag that they do not chase women, if they brag that they're not going to go out of their way for a woman, you like men. You want to be a princess. You want a man to chase you. They haven't admitted to themselves that they are like actually gay. Okay. Because a guy who like, guys know, like, it's not about chasing women in particular. Like, it's more about pursuing a woman. Okay. If they're like bragging that they do not pursue women, like you're kind of girly, kind of weird. It's just not a flex, because the girls that are actually of high quality are going to not chase you. They're not going to chase your validation. They're not going to go out of their way to prove to you that they're worth being picked. Okay. Because a lot of the high quality women that you want are going to require you to pursue them. And yes, I am referring to pursuing, not chasing. So if a woman's not showing any signs of interest, of course the guy shouldn't have to chase them, right? But if you're bragging that, oh yeah, like I just, I'm not going to chase a woman. I'm going to have her come to me. I'm not going to pursue women. I'm going to have her come to me. She needs to show me that she's worth being with. Like, I'm sorry, in what world? You are not the prize. The woman is the prize, always. And if you think you're the prize, sir, I think you need to be with men. You need to be with men, and you have to acknowledge the fact that you might possibly be gay.
You know when somebody takes their fingernails and drags it across the chalkboard and it makes that horrible screeching sound? Like, that's what that whole video sounded like to me. Like, it's just anyway, look, but to her credit, let me just, she has a little bit of a point, right? The reason why I think she has a point is that you shouldn't be bragging or talking about the fact that you're the prize, or bragging or talking about the fact that you don't chase women, or any of those things, right? You must remember that actions speak louder than words. So therefore, you don't have to brag on this. You don't have to say any of these things, right? Your actions should speak louder all the time. So what does that look like? That looks like when you approach a woman, you introduce yourself, you let her know why you're approaching her, and you give her instruction. As soon as she shows any type of resistance or non-cooperation, you can leave her where she stands. Do you understand? A man with a masculine identity only deals with women who are interested in what he's interested in. So when he speaks, she listens. When he gives instructions, she is enthusiastic and she wants to follow these instructions because she's actually interested about being a part of that man's life. Okay, so she does have a point in that respect, right? As men, we should not be going back and forth. We should not be arguing. We should not be bragging. We should not be explaining these things to females. You get what I'm saying? All you need to do is let your actions speak for themselves. Okay, so again, the other thing I want to say about this video is this is exactly why you don't need to take women seriously, right? One thing you have to remember about women is that they're super emotional and they are super insecure. So when you hear a woman like this speak, right, and she's like, oh, guys who brag about this, guys who act like they're the prize, guys who blah, blah, blah. All that's really happening here is that she probably got curved by a dude, or maybe she tried to test boundaries with a guy that she actually liked and he cut her off immediately because he wasn't playing that shit. You understand? And there are times where when your actions speak and your actions let the woman know the type of time you're on, meaning that you're not playing any games and you're only dealing with women that are ready to cooperate. You're only dealing with women that are compatible and compliant with your instruction and your program. Sometimes these women get hurt, right? Their emotions take a big hit because a lot of these women, they're trying to compete with men, especially with men who know exactly what they want. Right. Especially with men who they don't really have time for the games. And like I said, they're going to let their actions speak much louder than their words. They're not going to sit there and explain anything to a woman. They're not going to try to give her chance after chance after chance. They're going to give her one opportunity to follow instructions and to show that she's enthusiastic, that she's compatible, that she's compliant, and that she's ready to actually be invited into this man's life. And as soon as she shows that she's not on that type of time, then she doesn't get any more of his time. And when this happens, a lot of the times these women, they get upset, they get hurt, they feel away, and they get into their feelings. And so they have to do something to try to get back at the guy, or they have to do something to try to, that's why they get on TikTok and they do all of this stuff. This is why you don't have to take women seriously. Because here's the thing with women, because they're so emotional and because they are so insecure, if you do something to hurt a woman's feelings, or if you do something and she feels a way about it, right? To retaliate, she's not going to try to make you feel the exact same way. She's trying to make you feel 10 times worse, because the irrational nature of her emotions wants to make you feel worse than you made her feel. You understand? That's the whole point of why women do the things they do. Because they're not because if they try to make you feel exactly how they felt, they're not sure if you're going to feel that way. Why? Because you're a guy and you might not care. Right. So in order for them to be satisfied with being emotionally retaliatory, they have to do something that will make them feel that you hurt more than they did. So that's why she's on the video talking about, oh, you must be gay. You're better off going with other men and all this other stuff. Right. Because she thinks that saying that is what's going to hurt the guy's feeling. Right. The guy who didn't give her a second chance, or the guy who stopped messing with her as soon as she started showing any type of friction. Right. She probably got hurt because she probably was interested in the dude. She probably did some stupid shit or said some stupid shit or wasn't compliant enough. And then when he stopped calling back, or when he just cut her off immediately, now she's starting to feel the way she feels. So now she's trying to call you gay and all this other dumb shit. You don't need to take none of that stuff seriously. You don't need to take none of that stuff personally. When you are a man with a masculine identity, you let your actions speak, because actions speak louder than words. All right. So it's your boy, Miles Cunningham. Hope you got something from this video. Hope you're having a great day. Be good to yourself. Be grateful. And remember, the truth is inside you. Peace.